To get started with the new species project, what we're going to use for tools is this app called Pixlr Editor. If you don't have it here, you have to go to the web store and get it and add it to your Chrome. Here at school, when you click on it, you get this kind of, hey, you got to click here for Flash. So you click that, you got to leave, allow, reload. It's annoying. And then when you get here, you can get started and start working, but the problem is you can't save. So what you really need to do is close that, come over to Login, choose the Google sign in, make sure you sign in. And then there's another little glitch. When you get to here, it's blank. There's just the white thing. You just hit X and you refresh the screen. All those steps, I apologize, but that's just how we have to get through this. The important part is that now I'm logged in. You can see my name in the top right hand side, and now we can get started. So with this project, you can start with opening an image from your computer or creating a new image. We're going to open one from our computer, but before we do that, we need to get one. So I'm going to find this here giraffe, and I'm going to use this horse. So I'm going to make a new species with a horse head on the giraffe. Hopefully. Let's see how it goes. To right click save image as, and you have to find a home for it, and new folder. I'm going to call this alright, and I'm going to get the other one. Notice the ear is cut off. You typically don't want to do that, find one that has the ears cut off, but in this case I'm going to leave it because I'm going to show you a couple tricks to fix that if you ever had run into that. So anyway, I'm going to do it. So I've saved both to a folder on my computer, and now I can open both one at a time. File open, file open. So I'm going to open both of them so I have them open. Simple. And notice when I click on the giraffe, over here under the layers area, there's the giraffe. If I click on the horse, there's the horse. What we're going to do here is make sure we click on the horse. All right, and then we're going to grab its layer and drag it onto the giraffe. Okay. For some of you, it'll be gigantic and it won't necessarily fit. And in this case, it fits somewhat, but still too big. Everyone's going to have to do this step no matter what. And that is, you're going to go Edit, Free Transform, so that you can transform the size of it. Now notice it squishes. You got to be careful. Don't squish. Try not to squish anyway. But what you can do instead, I'm going to undo that. Instead of just dragging it where it says no restriction on constraint, I'm going to say aspect ratio, meaning when I do free transform it, it won't squish. Well, okay, I lied. Oh, that's for cropping, I guess. Well, anyway, you don't want to pull and tug on this. I believe if you hold shift, yes, hold shift key down, it won't stretch like it was doing. So I'm going to not accept that, and I'm going to do it one more time. This time I'm going to go Edit, Free Transform, and I'm going to hold shift so that it doesn't squish. All right. So I'm going to bring it to about that size. I'm going to guess it right now. I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to move it to about there. I'm going to get out my eraser tool. And I'm going to make the brush fairly large. I'm going to use the fuzzy brush, which looks nicer in the end. I'm going to erase around the horse's head. Now, I'm going to do very general erasing for right now. I'm just going to kind of generally erase around just to get started, just so I have something to work with. All right, and I'm going to say, all right, now that I've done that, I'm going to look at it and say, well, it's facing the wrong way. Well, how would I flip that? I believe it's under Image, Flip Vertical. Nope, wrong one. No, sorry, it's flip horizontal, but actually it's doing the whole image, not the layer. So what I need to do is right click on it, I believe, No, that's not going to work either. Layer. There it is. Layer. Flip vertical. Flip horizontal. There we go. And that way, it's just the layer. So under the Layers tab, that's where I messed up. All right. And so I was able to flip just the layer. And I'm going to kind of eyeball it. Something like that, let's say. Then I'm going to finish my erasing. I'm going to take my eraser tool and make sure I'm on that layer. See, what happens is if I'm accidentally on the background layer and I erase, I'm erasing behind it. That's not good. Control Z, undo. You want to make sure you select the layer here in the navigator area. You want to select the layer that you're working on before you start working, right? So I'm going to now erase the rest of the horse's head here. I'm going to work around the ears. I may decide to keep these ears, or I may keep the other ears. But notice what I can do now is I can zoom in, make my brush smaller, and be more specific, more detailed. Okay, I'm going to leave a little bit of brush here. I'm not gonna do that just yet. But around the ears here, if I hold, oops, undo that. I'm going to move this over, the whole canvas over. There we go. So that I can get close to the ears. And I'm going to zoom in. Certainly. It's a little hard to zoom in on this program. And I'm going to then be more precise around the ears. Now, I haven't decided if I'm going to keep these ears or not. But I am going to clean up around them for right now. I'm going to clean them up. Make sure there's nothing left there. And a lot of times you can't tell, right? Because there's a lot of sky going on, this and that. So what I like to do is you unlock and uncheck. So you're basically turning off the background. And then you can clean up. Oh, okay. Oops. Make sure you're on the right layer, though. I just had to undo that. All right. Make sure you're on the correct copy. That's this one here. This is the horse's head. So there we go. So I'm erasing what I'm supposed to, because worst thing that happens is you turn this back on and everything's erased behind it. So you want to be careful. All right. So you go, whoop, and if I make a mistake, I can undo. Control Z. So I'm gonna just clean this up a little bit, because there's a lot of this going on here too. This happens. You gotta kind of clean that up. And I took too much of his nose off, so I'm going to try that again. I might zoom in a little bit, be more precise. All right, I'm going to turn back on the background and have a look. So his neck is too wide here. So all I need to do is decide, well, am I going to keep the neck? What am I going to do? So I'll try to remove the neck and see what happens. So I'll erase along the line of the giraffe neck. That seems to work. And I think I'm going to lose the ears. They just don't match for what I want. There, that's more or less what I'm looking for. But let's say I wanted to keep the ears, right? There was a trick I promised you. Let's see if I can do that in this program. It's a smudge tool. So what's going to happen here is on this, I should be able to drag it up. I can't, because see that line right across the top there? That means that's the bounding box of that layer. So I believe in here, I should be able to adjust the box size. Let's see if I can do that. I know I can do it in Photoshop and GIMP, but here I'm having a little bit of difficulty at the moment. Worst case scenario, right click on it. Let's try layer style, see what's in there. Nope, that's not going to work. So I'm going to skip that for now. The idea is, with the smudge tool, you can smudge things. See, I can smudge. But I know in Pixlr, see that black right there? That's not supposed to happen, and it only happens in the Pixlr program. Unfortunately, it looks like a glitch to me. So we're not going to bother with that. So let's just finish this up. Take the eraser, make sure I'm on the horse's head, and I'm gonna erase the rest of his ears because I don't want those anymore. So they just don't fit in this model. All right, so we got a horse's head with kind of a lot going on, some ears and such. All right, so that's basically my new species. Now I can work on this a little bit more by moving this a little bit, adjusting, turning off the background, looking for any eraser marks that I forgot. So I'm going to clean this up, So you probably want to work on that so that, it doesn't look so sloppy. And then when you're done, you need to save it. So there's two ways to save in this program. One, you save it so that you can keep working on it. Okay, so this is the first way. You click Save on my computer, and if you save it, Pixlr Cloud, right? And if you save it as a PXD and give it a healthy name, so I'll call this Horsehead, I don't know, and you click OK. It's going to save it so that if you wanted to work on it tomorrow, you can come in, open from Image Library, and it's in there, Horse's Head, right? See, I've done similar projects for demonstrations before. There you go. So I can pick that and just keep working, right? The other way to save it, which is how you turn it in, this is how you put it on your portfolio. This is how you put it on Facebook to show people how cool it is. What you do is you go to File, Save, and this time make sure it's a JPEG or PNG. This is debatable. They're both very good photo images. Okay, and so you would choose your computer, and you would choose one of those two. I'll do JPEG, and you can bump up the quality a little bit and hit OK. And then when you save it, make sure it's a good name. It's not one of those old names. It's a new one, and save it. So that's how you save the new version to your computer. That way you have it as a picture that you can post on your portfolio, or you can share in an email and so forth. You can't share in your email projects that are called PXD files. I mean, they're projects. You can't really put them anywhere. They're still projects to have their layers, right? They're not real pictures yet. Okay, so just a reminder, you need to save as a JPEG in the end when you're done. But if you're not done and you want to keep working on it, you go to Pixlr Cloud and you choose the PXD format. Why Pixlr doesn't make this the default, in other words, why this isn't always the first choice, is beyond me. This should be the first choice because when you save a project, and then when you want to save it as a different version, your second choice should be JPEG. But Pixlr needs a little work on that. Okay, and that's it. And so you're going to turn that into your portfolio and be done. Thanks. Bye.